So we spent 4 days of hearings here in the Senate Joint Transportation and Judiciary hearing to talk about the response and what went on in one of the most monumental moments in Minnesota history. We talked about statues, we talked about road closures, we talked about National Guard response and other subjects of that matter. But we did not talk about, again, what caused those reactions of thousands of people protesting in the streets, and why people are tired of the public safety system that fails to protect them, and why they call to an end to racism and economic injustice. We spend little to nothing, no time on those subjects. We've seen and heard minimal conversation on how we're going to address these issues. And if anything, these hearings have affirmed that we do need transformative public policy on police safety reform, but more importantly, deep structural racism and structural changes across the board. I'm optimistic that if not this legislature, the next legislature will have to work together to address these issues, because Minnesotans are calling for it and they deserve it. And I want to remind people, when we talk about metro and rural, that if the metro succeeds, the entire state succeeds. We live in the same borders of our state. We're represented by the same governor and legislative bodies. So we're all in it together, and we have to remind ourselves that we have to work together. But this is bigger than Minnesota, and it's also, just like the pandemic, it's going to take leadership at the state and national level. And we have no choice, because inaction will not go unnoticed. So I know that Senator Newman, yourself, and Senator Gazelka have both said that these hearings were not to be dealing with the killing of George Floyd. They weren't going to address that issue. But unfortunately, these hearings have only presented one side of the story. And to Minnesotans who are demanding change and are demanding us to seek justice, I want to say we hear you. And for those that were not invited to this table, I'm sorry we have failed you. Thank you.